Oh. Okay, so it looks like I'm on YouTube, but not Twitch. Let's see. Oh, maybe I am. Live on both. Try Twitch again. Oh, I'll stop. Hi, my name is Rob, and today I will talk about fine particulate matter, heating, or cooling, I should say, cooling in homes, and fossil fuel lobbying. Those are three articles that I found, and I will get to the first item. There's actually four articles today. So the first article is Canada to fund health study for Indigenous communities downstream of oil sands. And the byline says this should have been done 32 years ago. Um, and I would agree with that. Um, and that's according to Chief Billy Joe Tuckerell. And it says in the article that it's 3 decades after Indigenous leaders asked for funding for the study to determine why people are becoming sick and um, um, and to understand if the oil sands was making people sick. The article says that studies have previously shown higher rates of cancers in communities along the shores of Lake Athabasca, and Athabasca has a lot of oil sands. Other studies have found unsafe levels of arsenic, mercury, hydrocarbons in the area's water, as well as in its fish, sediments, and surrounding wildlife. Mercury is um, bioaccumulating, and we know a lot from the grassy narrows about negative health effects. Um, so it is good that there was a study. Uh, it should have been started 30 years ago uh, when they asked for this study. um, yeah. Oh, so I guess I had the wrong slide up for a while. Yeah, so Canada. So yeah, so the article is called "Canada to Fund Health Study for Indigenous Communities Downstream of Oil Sands," and it's by Mia Robson, published on August 7th in the CBC. So I will go to the next article. which is about Pierre Poilievre being lobbied. Just have to transition. So this article is by Cole Meal, called "The Oil and Gas Industry Lobbied Poilievre's Office Dozens of Times Over a Year," records show. And Pierre Poilievre has been known for criticizing lobbying as a opposition leader, conservative opposition leader. The article says Pierre Poilievre was publicly denouncing lobbyists. He and his staff were being lobbied dozens of times by oil and gas interests. For 12 months, that ended June 2024, the NOAA found 46 records on the Federal Lobbying Commissioner's registry. And some companies have confirmed that the lobbying has taken place from the oil and gas industry. And then there's a quote: "My experience with the corporate lobbyists in Ottawa, the main group there, is that they have been utterly useless in advancing any common sense interests for the people on the ground," Poilievre said in a speech to business leaders. And then there was an opinion piece that said that he would file, or a good option would be to fire the lobbyists, stop talking with politicians, and start trying to win the support of the population. The opinion article says that people should go directly to workers, consumers, and retirees. So he's criticizing, at the one time, he's criticizing lobbyists, but still talking to lobbyists. There's another highlight. Notably, Poilievre's anti-lobbying settlement hasn't stopped the former Harper government minister from communicating with lobbyists dozens of times over the last year, as allowing federal lobbyists to pay to attend his fundraisers in Tony neighborhoods and clubs. Tony is, I think, another word for conservative. Oh, I don't know. I haven't clicked that link. I think that's meant to say Tory. Let me see. Oh, it's talking about this is linking to an article from The Breach called 10 Mansions That Common Man Pierre Poilievre Has Fundraised In. They're saying that the articles are Mia Papineau, an associate professor of economics at Carleton University, said the full scope of the lobbying activity suggests Pierre Poilievre's comments about lobbyists are simply a vote-grabbing tactic, and he's not taking it seriously. Another highlight that I made: many registered lobbyists are given 2 months to report their activities, so lobbying that occurred in May or June may not have been entered into the system at the time of the writing. It's publicly accessible, the lobbying registry. But the registry doesn't record the type of communications or identify topics. So that's a frustration. It would be good if I think it would be good if they included those. Um, and despite criticizing Hill Days, which is a big lobbying day, at least one was joined. Um, there was like the suggestion that Pierre Poilievre instigated some of the lobbying, invited some of the people to present. Um, Large mining company from the highlight in the article lobbied Poilievre Staples as part of our engagement with stakeholders following its acquisition of a Canadian firm. Um, Quebec National Gas Distribution Company, ENGO, formerly Gaz Metro, lobbied the Poilievre staffer on October 2023. Um, the company spoke with the government and opposition party members about its push for tax breaks for renewable natural gas, and that's in quotation marks. Um, I do think that natural gas should be, even if it's made from organics, um, like compost, it should be separate from other renewable energy. The TC lobbied, the pipeline TC Energy lobbied for Poilievre Staffels on two occasions, and they own the Coastal GasLink pipeline. Um, Previously, TC Energy wanted to exclude facilities from a federal emissions cap on the oil and gas sector. Um, I have another quote. The Prime Minister said he would. If Poilievre became Prime Minister, he vowed to deliver more oil and gas projects and roll back several environmental rules that impact fossil fuels. Um, and then the lobbyists have a direct stake in that. Uh, so polio is not good for the environment. Um, the government would restrict or jettison entirely a number of federal laws that require pollution pricing, environmental impact assessments of major projects, and standards for cleaner fuels. It would quickly approve natural gas exports and grant rapid permits to liquefied natural gas facilities while relying on technology to fight climate change. Um, Technology can only go so far to tackle climate change. The Investigative Journalism Foundation found at least 6 former staffers have become lobbyists in general. And then one other highlight: oil and gas companies want to connect with Poilievre's inner circle so they can count on someone answering their call when they want to press an issue, he said. That means establishing relations now with all sorts of people in Poilievre's orbit. Um, yeah, so with this article, um, Pierre Poilievre makes a public image, but behind closed doors with lobbyists, he says something completely else. Um, so I will go to this item. I think. Oh, I don't think I covered the tiny particles. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm on this one. Okay, and then there's a Queen's Journal, AMS petitions for tenant protection amid hot Kingston summer. Um, and then the byline says student mentors not equipped with proper cooling system or in danger of illness and death. The AMS is a student government. Um, the AMS and local organizations, including 350 Kingston and SCAN, Kingston are petitioning the city to pass a bylaw which would mandate landlords to maintain a rental unit temperatures below 26 degrees Celsius. Um, and students without cooling systems are in danger of illness and deaths on extremely hot days. Those are quote. Oh, and I should say this is from the Queen's Journal and by Elizabeth Provost. There's a quote. This is about protecting student health and well-being, but also about adaptation and being proactive about acting on the health risks that climate change is going to pose to people. And through AMS, Commissioner of Environmental Sustainability, said in an interview with the Journal. 450 tenants in Kingston. Oh, no, that's not. There was a recent study, the article says, that over 450 tenants in Kingston, 48% of respondents said the apartments were too hot during the summer. So this is a serious issue that should be looked into. We do know from British Columbia that people have died. British Columbia, Montreal, a lot of European cities, uh, people have died from extreme heat, and it impacts a lot of people with low income, um, and a lot of students have low incomes, and low income people living in poverty and older populations. So I will go to the last article, which is tiny particles that have escaped oversight are linked to hundreds of deaths in Toronto. There was a research study by McGill University. This is talking about like fine particulate matter. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, the article is tiny particles that have escaped oversight are linked to hundreds of deaths in Toronto by Maria Welsh. 7 point. It says 7 point. There was a 7.3% increase in the risk of non-accidental deaths as a result of particles, and they're from vehicle emissions, non-point source pollution, and that is what was I saying? Yeah, um, that is a concern. It's concerning that they haven't been studied, as this article claims in the past, because they're so common, and it's also concerning that they're not regulated. And small particles are produced when you burn things. They can be inhaled deep inside your lungs and get into circulation systems. Um, Respiratory deaths accounted for the highest increase in mortality at 17.4%, followed by 9.4% rise from the coronary artery disease. Um, And then the article says that environmental regulations have reduced air pollution, but they have not controlled the ultrafine particles. And it says anytime you burn anything, it could be gasoline, it could be diesel. Anytime you're burning organic material, you're increasing particles. And we also know, I covered this, that Pierre Poilievre doesn't take this seriously, um, because he's against regulation of wood burning stoves in Montreal. And I covered that in a previous YouTube video. Um, Alright, well, I thank you for listening, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Um, it looks like there's only one person here, so I'll end it now, unless someone writes in the chat. Um, I don't see anyone, so thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day.